Hello and welcome to another Tier List Tuesday talking frozen foods. Now, you might be wondering what's going to be on this list, who's here, so let's get to that introduction.
Without any further ado, we've got for you today, boom, it's Kelly, everybody. Kelly, aka Kelly W, aka KW, aka my second favorite couple to have played Sequester. Kelly, it's Kelly. Kelly, how's it going?
So good. I'm so excited. I feel like I have hot food takes, even though these are frozen foods, but
Well, I have a lot of opinions here too. I mean, fixing this list up, definitely looking at it, I have hella opinions about a lot of different things. Now, immediately we have to answer the first question, which is no, these are not brand specific. These are food specific. So if you see the picture of a Tombstone pizza, it could be DiGiorno, it could be anything. It's just frozen pizza. That's the way we're going about this, right? So that's the first thing.
yes.
Second thing is, if you don't like these opinions, that is fine. We didn't put fruit or vegetables in here because that on its own could be a tier list, because some vegetables are awful frozen, some are great time savers frozen. So figured that'd be the move to go with. So this is pretty much like, think of it this way. This is pretty much like, I want that junk food, but I'm not trying to order it and I'm not trying to make it from scratch. That's kind of what this list started looking like. And
Yes. Lots of favorites here.
exactly. Okay, Kelly. So as is normal with the tier list, I have a bunch of categories here that I've, put together, named, because I like doing that. So the worst one is always going to be Binum. That is, this is trash. We don't need this. Just throw it in the bin. It's that bad. The next one, I'm very proud of this one. It's not well thought out because it's just not that great. It passes the bin test, but it doesn't pass the I need it test. So that's where that would be. Third one is average. It's just frozen food. Like, I know what I'm getting here. Whatever, it's fine. The second tier is, this came from the freezer, really? And then Owen Wilson, which of course means
Wow.
that's
Of
what that is.
course.
Exactly.
Of course.
Wow.
So that is like, wow, I'm amazed that this is frozen. That's cool. Obviously, the top tier, though, has to be the reverse frozen, which is, instead of let it go, you embrace it wholeheartedly, and that's the way it's going to be.
I'm so excited. These categories are perfect.
Okay, perfect. So, you're the guest. You have the full list in front of you. We finalized it today. Where would you like to go first? What do you want to talk about first?
Okay. Can I talk about my favorite of all the frozen foods?
Of course.
So my number one, the reverse frozen, it's going to be tater tots. I think tater tots are the
Interesting.
perfect food on the whole planet.
Tater tots are the perfect food on the whole planet. And then,
Yes.
tell me a little bit more. Is this a nostalgia thing? Is this something that you've just experienced from the way back? Like, what's the deal here?
I just feel like they're the perfect potato product. Like, potatoes are already a great food. And then, you get them in the little sphere. They're always crunchy. They're great. You can top them. You can make tachos, like tater tot nachos.
Oh, I see. It took me a second.
They're so versatile. I love tater tots. I'm number one tater tot stan.
Well, here's the situation. So the second tier list we did on this channel was with Kirsten, and we talked potatoes. Tater tots did decently. I don't remember where tater tots landed, so I'm feeling good about the tater tots too. My one disagreement is they're not always crispy, though. They're not always crunchy. They can be soggy. That's never a good time.
That's fair. That is
biting
fair.
into one that's not fully hot. Ooh, I don't like that. But I feel like a frozen potato, there's not much else that I can say wrong about it. I like it. I enjoy it. If we had tater tots, I'd fire them up tonight for sure before Big Brother. So I like it, but I don't know if I'm ready to commit to a reverse frozen here. So we'd have to compromise. I would put it in the Owen Wilson section for now.
I'm down with that.
And
I can deal with that.
Wow.
Perfect. We're ready to go. Okay. We're ready to go with the Owen Wilson, and let me just find the tater tot graphic right here. I pulled it up here. Stupid. Okay, cool. So the first one in is the tater tots. So here's the thing. The next one I want to talk about might not be my favorite, but it's one that I think deserves conversation. And that is going to be, if I can pull it up real quick because I forgot where all my stuff was. Okay. Let's talk about fish sticks.
Okay.
So fish sticks are fascinating for me in the sense that they don't sound like something that would be enjoyable. They do not. I mean, fish, fresh fish, like it, mess with it. Fish sticks are kind of like that in between of, well, we wanted chicken nuggets, Mom, but you hooked us up with the fish sticks, and like I'm feeling a type of way about it, but also now that they're on my table and I'm eating them, I'm happy about it. I like it. I enjoy it. Do I buy them often? No. Would I buy them often? Probably not. But they do have a bit of nostalgia just for that struggleness of it, of like, I didn't get it, now we have it, it's fine. This is kind of in the middle tier for me, potentially, of the it's just frozen food.
I completely co-sign that. I feel like it's like you want a chicken nugget or a chicken tender, and instead you bite in and it's like, oh, it's fish. And it's always like, a lot of the time I feel like they don't even say what kind of fish it is. It's just like a fish stick. It's like, but what kind of fish is it?
Mystery fish.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to mess with anything that doesn't have an actual title. You know what I mean?
No, I'm with you on that. I definitely think that it's a little bit on the sketch side, but also I know that when I have it, I'm satisfied. That's why it ends up being in the middle and not one bottom to not well thought out. For me.
Yeah, it's definitely edible. It's just like, wouldn't be my first choice.
Yeah, okay. So I'm down to put it there as well. So we'll move this up over here into the fish stick aisle. Okay. It's your turn. What do you want to go next?
This is weirdly going to make me hungry. Like,
I mean, I'm telling you, every tier list I do, it ends up, half the chat ends up ordering food during it or before it, and then I end up eating a lot right after as well. So no one's going to blame me. This is definitely the direction this is taking.
Okay, I have some thoughts on one of these.
Ooh, okay.
Let's talk pizza rolls.
Let's talk pizza rolls. I'm down with that. Okay. What about them? So here's the thing. We have like a bunch of pizza ones in here.
Yes, a lot of pizza.
And I initially was gonna like message you and be like, I think we should like remove a couple. But then the more I thought about it, I'm like, no, these are definitely different to me. So let's keep them.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on pizza rolls?
So this is kind of a very specific thing. In running, if you're running like an ultra marathon, for whatever reason, aid stations always have pizza rolls. I don't know why.
Really?
It's a very weird like joke. So they kind of have like a weird, like, I kind of like them for that because, you know, you're like so hungry and you're just like, oh my God, it's pizza, but basically a ravioli that's pizza, which is fantastic. But I think outside of that context, like normally eating a pizza roll, I'm kind of like, like I would also put it in the same kind of fish sticks, the middle category.
Yeah,
so like it's almost there. It's almost so good, but it's just missing something.
Yeah, I think the concept of pizza in a bite, I'm not mad at. I like that concept. However, I feel like it's a little too much sauce and a little too less of like I think the ravioli thing is apt. I think where this would shine if it was more like a dumpling, where there's a little bit more chew to it, I would be in on it. Also, if it's fresh out and you haven't, like, you're not sure how hot it is, you bite in and you just got that lava juice in your mouth, that's a hot mess of a time. I don't need my tongue burnt for the rest of the day because I ate one of these. So, and given that there's better pizza ones on this very list, I'm okay to leave it in the middle. This might end up taking a step down depending on where everything else lies, but I think that's the move for it. Is it's gonna be right here. Question: is it above or below fish sticks for you?
Ooh, I feel like honestly it might be below fish sticks.
I know. I'm surprised as well. I feel the same way.
The more we talk about it, the more I'm like, maybe pizza rolls are kind of bad, but
yeah, I mean, they're like, it's just one of those things where you wouldn't expect it to be a bad time, but then once you look at the other option, you're like, yeah, I definitely played myself. There was definitely better things on the menu there.
Yeah, for sure.
So I am next. I'm looking at this list, and I have some heavy opinions about this thing that you put in here that I'm intrigued to find out what your thoughts are.
Yes,
I want
okay.
to talk about the stuffed chicken cutlet.
Okay.
So this I will never get. There is no way this is gonna be a purchase for me. When I saw this, I'm like, okay, this sounds like a chicken cutlet. I'm not mad at it. Then I looked it up. I'm like, oh, this looks like all of the BS. They've took out half the meat and they've stuffed it with the picture I took had like this green stuff in it, which I'm like, it's fine, but also like I'm too scared. This is one of the things where if you like miscook it and you bite it and the middle's cold, yikes, and there's not enough chicken, it ends up becoming like a crusted vegetable thing. This is so. Why did you put this? Do you have different opinions on this? Why is this here?
No, I actually feel this exact same way.
Okay.
If you bite into this and it's cold, that's like nightmare fuel.
Eesh.
My mom, for whatever reason, when I was growing up, was like very into these. Like she would always buy them and feed them to us.
Would there
and
be
like,
anything else on the side of that plate? Like, what would she serve this with?
it'd be like the stuffed chicken. My mom doesn't cook. Here's the thing.
Okay.
She does not cook ever. She cooks, you know? So we would have the stuffed chicken thing, some like McCain's sidekicks,
Okay.
and like a bagged Caesar salad. And that would be like the meal.
Okay.
But yeah, those, I don't know, they really gross me out too.
Yeah.
And I always hated them. I would just like cover mine in barbecue sauce or something to like.
That's the move.
Get
Just
through
douse it in sauce and move on. Yeah. Well, like, cause I think the whole thing with this is that it's supposed to be, it looks like it's marketed to be fancy adjacent or like cooked food adjacent, like you made a thing. Whereas I think that even with that marketing, it's still not there for me to be good. I think the concept is smart. It's like, ooh, a ready to go fancy meal that would impress a date. But then it's like, this is not it, fam. So for me, it's listen, it's either a Binum or it's not well thought out. And just because you have nostalgia attached, I would feel bad to say Binum. I don't want to bin your memories. So let's do not well thought out if you're down.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good with that. I don't know if there's any millennial on the planet who has ever bought a box of these. If there is, please let me know.
These. Like I don't know where. I mean, I know they're in the frozen aisle, but I don't remember seeing this at all, Kelly. So
I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to talk to my therapist one day about this. Maybe that's why I am the way I am.
On what type? You think you're a different, like a specific type of way because of the chicken cutlet? That would be a story. That's your your villain turn, your heel turn origin story in your next sequester game. It's like it all goes back to that one chicken cutlet on that one Sunday afternoon.
The sidekicks. Oh.
So
I do love sidekicks though. Those are fire.
Sidekicks are a great time, and there's a lot of different ones to look at too. So I'm not mad at sidekicks at all. So I believe this is now your turn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go. I think this will be an interesting one.
Okay.
Let's talk about coconut shrimp.
Coconut shrimp. All right. What about it?
I have an interesting relationship with coconut shrimp. I grew up allergic to shellfish. And then I eventually grew out of the allergy. So I had not tried coconut shrimp until I was like 25. And I was like, wow, this is very good. I don't know if I've ever actually had a frozen one. I assume sometimes at restaurants they probably are frozen and they're like trying to play it off like they made it or whatever.
Right. Depending on what restaurant, like a hole in the wall place will definitely hook you up with the frozen coconut shrimp.
Yeah, exactly. But I was pleasantly surprised. I was like, ooh, it's like I'm on an island. Like I feel like I'm on vacation eating this.
You will never catch me talking shit about shrimp. I love shrimp. Shrimp is phenomenal. To me, it's my favorite seafood item available on the board 9 times out of 10. And I will always eat it. Frozen, like fresh, raw, whatever. I'm in on the shrimp always. Frozen shrimp definitely works fine to me. It's a good time. I feel like this is something, and I still do not own an air fryer. I have a feeling this is something that would be phenomenal in an air fryer too.
Yes,
so,
definitely.
Yeah.
That's the move. You gotta air fryer them. Everything on this list, basically.
I mean, okay, so I've been very vocal about this on here. I am someone who consumes TikTok media. So I've definitely been in the food TikTok world, and they air fry fucking everything. And everything looks delicious. So I'm not even mad at it. I think for me, so okay, wait, so let me talk for it. So you were allergic to shellfish. So now, is it safe to say that you're happy you've grown out of the allergy because you really like the shrimp life?
Yeah, I feel like I was missing out on a lot of things for a lot of my life, not being able to eat shellfish. And now I'm like, I'm into it. Like, I'll hit a coconut shrimp for sure.
So where do you want to put this?
Ooh. I don't think it's quite at the top
Okay.
for me. I think it's probably like second tier for me. Owen Wilson tier.
Owen Wilson tier.
Wow.
Okay, sounds good. Owen Wilson it is. We'll put it up below Tater Tots. Am I right?
Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
below Tater Tots.
Yeah, I feel like that's the way to do it, because I would still there. Then it's like I will take frozen tater tots, and I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. I think between tater tots and like others, but I can definitely tell the difference between the frozen shrimp and the regular. So I think that's the distinction for me. All right, but look at Parsnip Burger says, Puya, the most beautiful guy in the world. Thank you, Parsnip. But then Parsnip also said, I don't like tater tots. So, Parsnip, I appreciate you. I thank you. Very kind words. But tater tots are pretty decent. I would give them another try. Reintroduce them into your life. See how you feel.
Yes. Always try them again.
Yeah.
Get them at a restaurant too.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of things on these lists that I've been negative about, and then later I've been like, I think I have a change of heart about. So Tuna Melts was one of them. We shat on Tuna Melts in the stream with TR and Louie, and TR was the biggest defender of Tuna Melts, and Marcus in the chat was a big defender. And then I was like, this is bullshit. Tried it. I was like, oh, I was so wrong. This is actually pretty fucking good. So it is what it is. But what we can talk about next is waffles. Frozen waffles. So, not gonna lie to you, I'm not a I gotta make my waffles from scratch guy, really. I get Bisquick, I get a mix, you add all the stuff yourself, you get that batter ready. I've been trying to make Sunday morning waffles a thing around here. It's been pretty good. If we wake up early, it happens. And then if I wake up late, but Liana also wakes up late and she doesn't have a podcast, it happens. So it's been good. I've been enjoying that. That being said, I don't know how I feel about frozen waffles. Like,
oh man,
I like the process. I like making it. I like that extra steps of like me doing the thing. So what, you put this on the list, so you tell me why I might be wrong or what your thoughts are here.
Yeah, I don't know why I love frozen waffles. Like, as a real adult, I feel like I shouldn't like frozen waffles, but for whatever reason, I always come back to frozen waffles. Like, I'll buy them like once a month probably, and then I'll burn through them super quickly. Like, I don't know what it is, but sometimes in the morning you wake up and you're like, I'm gonna hit an Eggo with some peanut butter and jam, and that's my breakfast, because I'm almost 30 and this is how adults live.
The quick food out the door life. Yeah,
exactly. But I really love them. Like, they're crunchy, they're a really good size, so that like you can have two and not be really full, because sometimes when you go to a restaurant or something and you get a Belgian waffle, it's like way too much food, you know, whereas like the little Eggos, it's perfect.
How perfect is it though? Like I get that it's a quick fix, but you know, toast and jam or toast and butter is also a quick fix, low key. So it's like, or a Pop-Tart is also a quick fix. So are we saying the speed of food delivery is the reason you're rating it, or is the flavor good as well? And would you, if this stream went offline now and you had all of these foods in your freezer, would you just hit up the waffles or the Eggo?
There's a high chance I would. I really like frozen Eggos. Like, they're a blank canvas, so you can do whatever you want with them.
Okay.
You know?
Well, also, Ryan and Felipe out here hitting me with the all caps, being all mad about my dislike. I just like the ritual of making them myself, you know, getting the egg, getting the oil, getting the mix, whipping it up. I like that. That's a part that to me, that's what the waffle situation is. Although I wouldn't, here's the thing, I would not say no to one of these. I'd eat it for sure.
And you'd probably be like, this is way better than I remember.
Yes.
I famously, on a birthday, got very drunk and forced my fiance to make me a plate of frozen waffles, and then I fell asleep and didn't even eat them, and our cat ate them.
Oh, that must have hurt for him.
It's the worst night of his life, probably.
So then you're backing them up. Where would you put these?
I would honestly put them in the reverse frozen. I feel very strongly about freezer waffles.
Ooh, well, oh god, the chat's not.
But it's okay. We can
compromise.
Yes.
But here's what we'll do. I'm willing to now have a change of heart and push tater tots up, and then push waffles into the second tier. Okay?
Okay, I'm down with that.
All right, we'll do that. Would I take shrimp over these?
Ooh.
You wouldn't, right? You'd take the waffles, I'm guessing.
I'd go either way. Honestly,
Okay.
I could go either way on that.
All right, I'll put it over here. I'll put it over on second.
I will say the shrimp are probably better plain than a plain waffle is kind of,
I
know,
see.
you need something with it, obviously.
That's true. So I think it's your turn next, if I'm correct here.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. This one, I'm wondering how we're gonna both feel about this. But what about frozen chicken wings?
Frozen chicken wings. So famously, last week we did the old wing tier list over here. We talked about all the flavors, which one would be the best. Frozen wings. These are, to me, the number one food that'll benefit from an air fryer. Number one food. Because I feel like with frozen wings, they're just, no matter how you make them, they're never going to replace the natural taste of a wing that you get outside somewhere. And also, like, I've made both frozen wings and I've made, like, my own wings with actual chicken. And they still both do not hold a candle to whatever they do in these establishments. So for me, there's other chicken things on here that would get the nod because there's a better version of this out there that this wouldn't necessarily fill that craving for. So if I was craving wings today, Kelly, and I had these in the freezer, I would still probably try and order them before I made them myself. But what about you?
Yeah, so I don't know if anyone knows this, but I'm a pescatarian. But before I was a pescatarian, I was very into chicken wings.
Okay.
But I was very not into freezer chicken wings. I don't know what it is. The texture when you make them, they get like mushy and like they just kind of fall apart. And I feel like they never have enough sauce on them when they're like the pre-sauced ones.
Oh my god, yeah, the pre-sauced one. And then I'm not a fan of them, like you open the box and then there's this like weird frozen block of sauce on the side in the packet. I'm like, why are you doing this to me? Like, I talked about it last week. Like, I'm not about to sit there and fucking make my own sauce and sauce my wings up myself. Like, that's not me. You do it. But then when you do it, you're not doing it well. No.
No, these are just bad. Honestly, I'd be totally fine to bin them. Like, I'm like.
So, yes, but also then that confirms me you would rather have the stuffed chicken cutlet before
I'd probably eat the stuffed chicken cutlet over the wings.
I'm
just
fine.
like the idea of that rubbery texture is so off-putting.
Yeah, no, I never, even when I get other frozen things, when they give you that packet sauce, I don't use the packet sauce. I'm like, I've got enough condiments in the fridge that I can do something with over this. So,
Oof.
yeah. Wings are like, wings are top like 5 foods for me otherwise. But
wings are like the only meat product that I'm like, I really miss eating
that you
wings.
miss?
Like, I love wings or loved wings. Still
what was
do, I
your
guess.
go-to flavor?
I really like spicy food.
Okay.
So I would do like just like a spicy or like I like a hot honey.
Love that. Love both those options.
Yeah.
No, we're friends. You knew this. Fun fact to those of you who don't know, Kelly's one of the few people I have met from the sequester community. We hung out in the Toronto Know-It-Alls one time.
So long ago.
That was like, what, it was fucking 3 years and change at this point. No, 3 years and a couple months. Yeah. Like,
oh my god. That was so fun too.
Remember when we were all children? What a good time. Everyone's all serious and shit.
I know. Yeah, we're so serious just doing this frozen food
judging frozen foods. Yeah. So you came up with the wings. You hit us with the wings. I want to talk about something else. Let's talk about the frozen burritos.
Okay.
This is so no for me. I love burritos. Burritos are my favorite. If I go to any establishment that gives me the options, burritos number like 1 in the options for me. Definitely. If I go to Chipotle, I'm getting a burrito. Like, there's no doubt about it. Burritos, I love them. What's not to love? It's hella food wrapped in amazing tortilla with hella delicious meats, hella everything. Love it all. The frozen one is not it doesn't have the thick with 2 C's that I like in a burrito. It doesn't serve me that. It's cold. It is one of the worst ones to deal with, like the frozen middle potentially. It's never even, I feel like. I don't like it. It's just deceiving. And I've had it before where like because I used to work nights. So there were some, when I had my nights off, I would, because of my sleep schedule, I would wake up at like 11 p.m. And I'm like, well, fuck, like nothing's open. It's a Sunday night. Like what am I going to eat? I don't have anything at home. What am I going to eat? I haven't gone grocery shopping. So I'd have to go down to the corner store before it closed. And I was like, I need something with some substance to it. But like, I'm going to get this knowing it's still not going to feel like I'm eating meat or like I'm eating like what I want. So this to me is Binom territory.
I'm totally with you on that. I don't know what it is with like the tortillas that they use, but they're always just like falling apart. I often do buy these still because like I'm always like, oh, maybe this time it'll be better. It's like a like abusive relationship, me and these freezer burritos. And every time I do that, the exact same thing. Like I can't heat it up properly. It's like falling apart, or I'm like burning my mouth. It's just, they're so bad.
No, and that's the thing, is that you can Goldilocks these all you want till you find the one. You're not, it's going to be hard to find the one. And I think that's why I still rate getting a burrito over a lot of things. Because my whole, like, Liana brought this up last night, like the whole philosophy of ordering out is, what can I not make well myself that I would like to get outside? And burrito is one of the ones that I definitely feel like I'd get a better bang for my buck if I do it that way. So I think we're on the same page here. I think this is the next Binom for me. This might be worse. I might fuck around and have some of the wings. I might like try and do something to the wings before I have the burrito because there's just too much wrong with it.
Yeah, that's a great point. You really can't fix it.
You really cannot. Oh, hello to Kirsten, who just joined us into the chat. And thank you for everyone who's here at the moment. Kelly, what's next?
Ooh. All right, let's move into some pierogies.
Yes, okay. Pierogi time.
Pierogi time.
So you put these on the list.
Yes.
What's your relationship with the pierogies?
So often, like if I have to sit in a lot of meetings for work, so sometimes I'll just want something fast. So I like always just grab frozen pierogies to like have in my shopping cart because they're so easy. You know, you don't really have to pay attention. Just like boil them or pan fry them, whatever you're gonna do.
Yeah.
I like them. They're not that great. I don't know why I always buy them, but they're kind of similar to like the fish sticks to me, where I'm like, I'd eat it.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Pierogies were one of the bigger purchases when we were in university. So I lived with 4 engineers, or like I say engineers, they were all engineering students. But one of my roommates had a car, and once a week or once every 2 weeks, we would get in the car, go to the store, and like just pack up the freezer with food because we had one of the big freezers in the basement.
Oh, so, nice. That's luxury.
Yeah, so we just stocked the hell out of it. So pierogies were one of the main purchases as well for that reason, because they're an easy fix. They're a good time. They're cool. Depending on what flavoring you had, they were good. My problem was the slipperiness. If you're making these in like you're boiling them, yikes. Taste is fine. It does what it's, intending to do, but I also have had pierogies that aren't frozen where I found out, because I think I had these before I had those, and I was like, oh shit, this is not even the same almost in ways. So for me, this ends up being above, at the very least, above the pizza rolls, because at least this is gonna give me something that I enjoy, and it's not gonna be a fake imitation of what I usually like.
Yeah, that's a great point. I agree. They're kind of just there.
Yeah.
I have them in my freezer right now. Mm-hmm. Why? Who knows?
Yeah. And like that's the thing, is like they're there. Like if I had these and like tater tots and shrimp in the freezer, and I've run out of the other things, I might consider making something before I have the pierogies. The pierogies become desperate measure for me at a point.
Yes.
So. Okay. So we had the pierogies. That was a fun time, fun carne. Let's talk about the other potato item here right away. Let's talk about fries.
Oh, man.
I mean, is it safe to say that you are a fan of fries? Is that a thing we can say?
I'm a fan of fries, but I'm not a big fan of freezer fries.
Oh, why not? What's wrong with them?
I just find even when you air fryer them, I'm like, there's something missing still. And often, I don't know what it is, they're coated in something that is like very off-putting to me. Like they have like a weird like chunky coating on them, and I never like that. Like I would just rather cut up my own potatoes and like make fries that way versus getting freezer fries.
I feel like freezer fries, they either will turn out a little too soggy or they'll be like the type of crispy where you bite into it but there's no crunch, if you know what I mean. It's like a one bite.
Oh yeah.
Oh, why is it in half already?
It's like a
So,
dry crispy.
yes, and I do not like that. I do not like that. When done right, they can get away with looking like they're just regular fries, but it also depends on, this is one that depends on the brand. It really does. I feel like I've had some that are like, nope, there's a reason why you were $2 for this whole big ass bag, and I've been lied to. Yeah. That being said, I feel like if it was 2 in the morning and I just came back from a night out and I've got a little drink in, got a little smoke in, whatever, I'd eat these and not bat an eye twice. So they would pass that test. But also, the threshold for that's low. I would probably eat the fucking frozen burritos and the wings and be like, yo, I had a 5-course meal, 5-star meal last night. So how much do you hate these?
Probably equal to the weird stuffed chicken thing, I'd say. There's just too much variance for me.
Yeah, Kirsten in the chat being all too cool Shakur. Y'all just don't know how to prepare these frozen foods right. Well, Kirsten, what are you saying? Which one of these do you have beef with that we've put on so far? Because I'll tell you, we're on the same page. So if you're coming after me, you're coming after Kelly, and vice versa right now. The beef is real.
Like, and there's just too many there's too many options, there's too many shapes, and some of them are like just totally bad.
What are your thoughts on Smiley Fries?
Oh my god. Okay, those I kind of like for nostalgia, but not for taste at all. Like,
okay,
but they're cute.
They're cute. That's the big appeal of the Smiley Fries. Yeah, we when we went through the potato stuff, definitely remember binning those. I was just like, this is not where it's at.
I would never buy them.
Yeah,
that's for sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it back to me?
Back to you, yes.
Ooh. Okay, you know what? We got so many pizza things. I feel like we gotta move through a couple. Let's do frozen pizza.
Okay. Frozen pizza. This is interesting. So, what are your thoughts on frozen pizza?
I honestly love frozen pizza. I'm a big fan. I love pizza, period.
Yes.
Full stop. Sometimes I crave frozen pizza. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, if it's a nostalgia thing. But like, hey, I will eat a frozen pizza any day of the week.
I think that I initially felt like frozen pizza didn't imitate the pizza that I wanted. But through trying different brands, I can confirm that I've definitely gotten the pizza requirements I want after finding the right one. So the last time, my fondest frozen pizza memory of recent memory is the night I played Winners at War. I came in second. I've been nervous drinking during the game. Liana's been nervous drinking, watching me play the game. So we said goodnight on the Twitch stream. We got off, and Liana was like, I'm hungry. I was like, all right, I'll make a pizza for us. We had this pizza saved up. I'll have that. And then Liana pulled a U and fell asleep before the pizza was...
No.
So the pizza was ready, and I was like, she fell asleep on the couch. I was like, Liana, do you still want a slice? So she like kind of sleepily ate half a slice, and then I put her to bed. And then I was like, I still had the game adrenaline going, so I ate pizza and like looked at the tweets and shit, and like I felt satisfied that night anyway. And the pizza just put it over the top for me. So the right pizza is good. So the right pizza is really good. There is wrong frozen pizza. I can definitely say that there is, and by wrong I just mean it's not the same feeling as the pizza, but it's still delicious. So for me, this is a reverse frozen, and it's not close. I think when you think frozen food, pizza's the one.
Yeah, and like, who's saying no to frozen pizza, really? Like, I don't know. Maybe rich people or something.
Maybe. Yeah, no, this is definitely worth it for me. And as far as the next one goes, I'm trying to decide if I want to keep the top tier going, because I definitely see two here that I would advocate for the top tier. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go with the ready meals. So, yeah, basically your Swansons, it comes with steak, mashed potato, and gravy combo, or like, here's a sweet and sour bowl. And these are definitely catered to the bachelors of like, hey, you want a meal, you want a home cooked meal that you can make yourself? Look no further. For me, I've tried these. There are some that were good. Most were yikes. Because like, again, there's only so much you can do to a food and then freeze it and then have it come out the exact same way it was when you put it in. And these aren't that. And the containers are always like these like cheap plasticky see-through things. And it's like, I don't want to see the goop I'm eating. Like, it's kind of gross. So this is a firm no for me.
Yeah, I feel very similar. Also, for whatever reason, like they're meant to be heated up in the microwave, but then the plastic is always so oppressively hot when you pull it out. You're like burning your hands to eat this like sad meal that you're like, I already feel bad about myself that I have to eat this, and now like my hands are all burnt. Like, and sometimes they come with dessert, which I find extremely off-putting. It's like, here's your steak and your potatoes and a brownie. It's like, I don't want this all cooked together. Like, I don't want my gravy on my brownie. Like, what is happening here?
Yeah, like, I don't need you to cater a meal for me. I needed like one item from this thing, and you've just put it all together for like $3.99. I don't need it.
But I do say the bowl ones, like, they're a bit better, but they're still not good either.
Right. And I think that's the biggest thing for me is that frozen food, the purpose of frozen food is twofold. It is, you can save it for longer, but then also it's a quick meal. Actually, there's threefold. The third one being it imitates something that you would want to make, but you don't have the time for. So with this, I would argue that very rarely is it going to like be a one-for-one replacement of what you would have wanted to make. So I'm looking at our list right now. I think I would make fries before this.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm just deciding would I have the stuffed chicken cutlet before this? That's the question. Because like it's a battle of which one's gonna be more filling. Because I would not have the wings or burritos. I stay firm on that. Fuck it. Let's disrespect this. I'm willing to put this beneath the stuffed chicken.
Okay, let's put it under the chicken. Oh, I just am imagining like the smell of all of it cooking together too, like with the like weird dessert, and I'm like, like, ugh, so nasty.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Where do we want to go? Let's talk burgers, frozen burgers.
Okay. Yes.
I feel like this is kind of like what I'm imagining is like I'm at a barbecue, like a family barbecue, and you know, they bring out like the giant Costco sized box of frozen burgers.
Right.
And like sometimes that's what you want. Like you just want something that's very unassuming and classic, and you know exactly what it's going to taste like. So I think for me, I'm like halfway in on frozen burgers, at least for the nostalgia factor.
Yeah, for me, I definitely, for the first half of my childhood, grew up with this. It was either burgers at a fast food place or these were the burgers at home. My mom didn't really get like we had ground beef, but we'd be using it for other dishes, especially with the Persian cuisine. It comes in handy. But then one time, my mom and my sister went to Iran for vacation. And my dad was the one taking care of me. And my dad was like, I want to make you a burger. But like, not that burger. I'll show you. And then he like made a burger. I was like, oh, this is so fucking different. It's crazy. But that doesn't take away the fact that these still come in handy at the right time. And I still think they work well, especially if you have a grill, they work fine. Some people might argue, well, they're too thin. Well, then have a second one and you're fine. Like everything you'll be okay. There depends on the brand. Some of them do come out a little bit watery even after they're cooked. So that's not great. But for the most part, that for me, it's a win. I see Mandy just asked, are veggie burgers being evaluated with this one? I would say sure. It shouldn't be just beef. But then I would say I've never had a veggie burger. So it would be hard for me to be like, well, you know, this versus that. I don't have any experience there.
It's similar, honestly. Like normally, like if I'm getting a veggie burger, it's because I'm like at someone's barbecue and they're like, oh yeah, we just grabbed these random frozen veggie burgers for you. And it's like, I'm going to eat it. Like
that'll work.
I'm not going to complain. I'm going to put like lots of mayo on it, I guess.
Yeah.
Like,
I love that this is the second item where you were like, I'll just put some sauce on it. Don't worry about me.
Yeah, I'm a big sauce person.
Yeah. So I think that, Kelly, to me, a burger is one of the ones that, you know, no one is going to shame you for making a frozen burger. So, and like, it still works. It's still tasty. It's an easy grab. I would put this in probably the Owen Wilson.
I can do that, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd put it probably like the bottom of the Owen Wilson.
I was thinking there too.
Wow.
Okay. Owen Wilson approved.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. We got burgers. We're making good time today too. Let's see. All right. I wanna talk about, you came in hot. You came in and said, my number one pick is Tater Tots. My number one pick. Oh my God, there's two of them. No, there's one that I have a better firm stand on, and that's gotta be fucking chicken strips. Chicken strips are so great frozen. I can't say enough positive things about it. Different brands are different. There's brands where they're a little thinner. There's brands where they're like the proper thick size. But you just toss these bad boys into an oven, leave for like 15 minutes, come back, do a little flippy flip, put them back in, leave, come back. They are ready to go. So when we did the whole university student, like, let's go to the store with the roommates and stock up, I would get chicken strips were my main. I would get a thing of pierogies because I was like, this is realistically, I'm going to run out of the chicken strips at some point. But chicken strips were incredible, and you can just put a little bit of sauce on the side of these. This is the one thing where I'm very willing to do my own dipping. I'm fine with that. It's just a simple win-win for me. And I've had, like, mind you, I've not always made these perfectly. I've had some where they're crisp to perfection, crunchy, great. I've had some where I'm like, ooh, the skin's not really like great. It's a little bit on the meh side, but I will still enjoy it because it's good. So I think, again, I said it, this is my number one seed. This is reverse frozen for me, but I'm not the only person on this panel. So I would like to hear what the pescatarian on the panel thinks about the chicken strips.
So I, like, for my entire, like, growing up, basically, only ate chicken strips. Like, anywhere I went, it was always chicken strips. Mm-hmm. Anytime I got to pick what we were eating for dinner, it was always chicken strips. So chicken strips have a very, very warm place in my heart. Mm-hmm. I love a good chicken. I mean, not anymore, but I still love a good chicken strip. Like, I just don't eat them, but I can admire them. And I do think that they're, like, pretty close to perfect.
Better than the pizza?
I think they might be better than the pizza.
Better than the pizza.
I know.
I'm loving this top tier. If I had this for dinner, I'd be very happy. Like, straight up.
So good. Imagine going to a checkout and this is like all you're buying too. Like frozen pizza, tater tots, and chicken strips.
I usually self-checkout, but if I was going through a cashier, I'd like to imagine she'd look at me and be like, lonely night, huh?
Yeah, are you okay?
Yeah. So are you going to be okay? It's like, yeah, more than okay. I'm getting fucking chicken strips for dinner.
Yeah,
my life's blessed.
Thriving.
Mm-hmm. Where do you want to go next here, now that we've gone to the highest of highs?
Okay, let's do... Okay. Pizza pockets.
Pizza pockets. Let me make sure I get the right one here. Okay, found the pizza pockets. What about the pizza pockets, Kelly?
So there's so many pizza items, you know, and are pizza pockets an only Canadian thing? I'm honestly not sure.
Oh, that's a good question. I believe they might be. I remember when we did one of these, the chat was like, I don't know what this is. So chat, if the pizza pocket is not a thing you're familiar with, then maybe this is it. Someone just said Hot Pocket wannabe, so maybe okay. It's a Hot Pocket here.
Maybe it's called a Hot Pocket. Yeah. So here's the thing with these. I just remember always, like, again, when I was like a kid and telling my mom what to get, I'd be like, oh yeah, can you get me some pizza pockets? But I meant pizza pops, but I would get confused. And then she'd come home with pizza pockets and I'd be so bummed out. Because, like, I just feel like they're very inferior. They do not cook evenly.
Nope.
And if you cook them too much, they just explode.
Right. Like, there is nothing more disheartening than opening your oven or or wherever you're putting these and then seeing just like the cheese and the sauce on the side of the plate. It's like, what the fuck is your point? If you're supposed to contain this. Like, you're supposed to be a closed-faced pizza, not a fucking open-faced one. So these make me mad. I hate the breading can be horrendous.
Oh, it's so bad.
And then again, we got the lava incident here, all the ice cold, or like you bite in and you're like, how is there still ice in this? Like, this is so irritating.
They're so bad. They should not exist in this world.
Yeah.
I don't know who's buying them. Probably people like my mom who get confused between the difference between all of the pizza products.
I feel like the pizza rolls I would have way before this. And I was ready to think those were the worst ones until I looked down and saw these.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I agree.
Are we binning these?
I feel like we gotta bin them.
All right.
Sorry.
You're at the store, they have only 2 items. It's frozen burritos and pizza pockets. What are you getting? You have to pick one.
I feel like I'd have to get the burrito, even though I know it's going to be terrible. I'd probably pick the burrito.
Marcus should be happy because now burrito's not on the worst of the worst. It's second worst.
Yeah, second worst item.
Okay, so the next item here, let's go to another side of things. Let's go to the dumpling section.
Ooh, okay.
So I think the dumpling does what it's supposed to do frozen way better than the pierogi does what the pierogi is supposed to do frozen. I love these better. These would definitely be good in an air fryer. They'd be good in any other form, in my opinion. As someone who probably doesn't think he can make dumplings, these I would get wholeheartedly and enjoy them and have a good thing. So
yes, I'm a big fan of the frozen dumpling. I feel like they're extremely versatile too. You can like put them in like a soup or something if you want to, or you can like eat them with a salad. Like, I just feel like there's a lot of options for the frozen dumpling, and they're so hard to mess up. Like, you literally just pan fry them a little and then like put some water, do like the little steam action, and they come out perfect like every time. So you cannot be mad at the frozen dumplings. No. They're fantastic.
Without a shadow of a doubt. Like, to me, this is one of the ones where I would before I even would think about preparing these, I would just buy the frozen one and I'd be happy with the decision. So for me, these are in the Owen Wilson aisle at the very least.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this list.
I think I'd put them at the top of Owen Wilson.
Above your beloved waffles?
Above my beloved waffles. I really love frozen dumplings.
Wow.
If I had some, I would eat them for dinner tonight.
What, the dumplings?
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I would like to... No, it's your turn to talk about something.
Oh, yeah.
It's your turn.
All right. Should we do... Let's do spring rolls since we just did dumplings.
Let's.
You know?
Mm-hmm. So, what about these?
I am not feeling great about the frozen spring roll.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm not feeling great about a spring roll normally, though. Perhaps I just don't really like spring rolls that much. But, like, they're fine. They always, every single time I get a spring roll, I'm like, this is going to be great. And then they always taste the same.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what it is. Like, I just feel like they're consistently medium for me.
Yeah.
And, like, I'd eat a frozen spring roll. I would buy a box of frozen spring rolls, I don't think.
Yeah, I think that if it was there, I'd have it. I won't seek this out. Even in its regular form, I definitely grew up with spring rolls, but then as time has gone by, I've changed into dumpling man or even egg roll if I want to go down that route of like I'm getting a one-itemer. From the appetizers, I would get one egg roll before I get one spring roll. Because, honestly, and it comes down to, it depends on what's in there, it depends on how it's been made. I think that usually the outside just flakes off after one bite. It's a bit of a mess. So, personally, these aren't it for me. But also, I think the spring rolls, like if I went to a restaurant and they didn't have egg rolls, I would get spring rolls. So, the frozen is the one I have beef with. I would put this in the not well thought out, potentially.
I think that's a great place for it. I think maybe I got spoiled. One of my best friends, her family's Filipino, and they make their own
Oh.
I can't remember what they're called, and this is gonna totally bother me. But they like make their own spring rolls, and like I used to go over there all the time and eat them, and then I feel like ever since then, like a normal spring roll is just never the same.
That's unfortunate. Yeah. No, nothing worse than having an amazing experience ruin every other experience because there's just not going to be a better one on the horizon.
So depressing.
Now, would you have these and have the nostalgia of eating at your friend's house, or would you have the stuffed chicken and have memories of your mom giving you stuffed chicken? Which one would be the preference here?
I definitely take the spring rolls over the chicken.
Okay. And I still think, what about the fries?
I think I'd probably go fries over spring rolls.
Yeah. Okay. I was thinking the same thing. Okay. So now we're getting down to it. There's 8 items left. I want to talk about the salmon that I added in here. So
yes,
we've done a Walmart run and there's this like blue bag of salmon, and it's just pieces of salmon. Like the back still has the scale on it, and the other half is just like pieces of salmon. And the way I cook these is I let them thaw a little bit, then I wrap them in foil with lemon, garlic, put a little bit of, love in there, put it in the oven, and wrapped in foil, and it is phenomenal 10 times out of 10. This is, to me, the one item on this list that you can conceivably make a fancy / nice dinner out of. You can, make your asparagus on the side and do like make some rice on the side, whatever you want to do. And now you have a full meal with salmon that, honestly, I don't think anyone will be able to tell this is different. Maybe the only place it seems different is the fact that these are thinner. I feel like a regular salmon would be thick, so that's where it would be different. I like these a lot. Also, just so that you do not lose your mind, DT in the chat says that it's called lumpia.
Oh my god, thank you, lumpia. Yes. Yeah. Oh, they're so freaking good.
So, what are your thoughts on frozen salmon?
So, I agree. I think that they're extremely versatile. And I like as well that it's like a pre-portioned thing. Because sometimes, either like you'll get the salmon at a restaurant or something and it's like so small, or like you go and buy it from like your local fishmonger and the pieces are like so differently sized. It's kind of difficult to cook. And then like, like I'm eating it with Colin and I'm like, well, I'm really hungry, but like feel like I should give you the bigger one. Like, you know what I mean? It's like an internal debate. So I love that they're very like quality controlled.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they're a great staple to keep in the freezer too. Like,
I think
it's just good to have on hand.
Right now we have a bunch of frozen veggies and the frozen salmon in the fridge. And there's been some nights where either I had a podcast earlier, I had a stream earlier, and I'm like, fuck, I didn't have time to make anything. Within 20 minutes we have a meal ready. Like, and it's a pretty decent meal. And the whole size thing too, the beauty of it is because it comes in this big ass bag, you can just get you 2 if you need one. It's kind of like the burger incident. It's like, all right, I want a second one. Ultimately then, for me, I can't decide. I didn't think I was going to come in and have this be in the reverse frozen debate. I might put this top of the wow at the very least, because it's really impressive that this is coming from a freezer.
Yes, I think that that's a good spot for it as well. I don't think it's quite, at the level of chicken strips, frozen pizza, and tater tots, but it's almost there. It's almost there.
Yeah, it's wow for now, definitely. Putting it here. I think top. Yeah, I think top is where it makes the most sense for me.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So then the next one's up to you.
Ooh, we've got some interesting ones left over here.
Yes.
All right, let's talk Bagel Bites.
Let's talk Bagel Bites. So these are kind of in the pizza family of the pizza items. Personally, I think these are the best of the pizza items left here. They're so easy to make. They're smaller surface area means less likely for like the middle to be cold. It's open face, so it's gonna the top's gonna properly get cooked no matter how you make it. It's a guaranteed fun bite. So unlike the pizza rolls, it's like maybe a 2-biter, but it's a good 2 bites. So I mean, I could fuck around and buy these and just eat the whole thing, maybe. Like, it's that good.
Yes.
So
I think, yeah, literally my only con for Bagel Bites really is that they're so little and you basically have to eat the whole thing. Like, if you want a real meal, you know, you can't exactly make half of a thing of Bagel Bites. Like, that's just insanity.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
so that's really my only con with them. But I think that, yeah, they're definitely the best of all the pizza items other than pizza. They're fantastic little food.
Yeah. No, I think these are a top tier item for me. Like,
yeah.
in the reverse frozen conversation. Behind regular pizza. Because I think that big argument of that's a meal, this honestly is more of a snack in a way.
Yes, that's a great point. I would really like to like go to a party and have someone bring out Bagel Bites as like an appetizer. That'd be fantastic.
I know. I feel like, have we passed that time now? Are we like in the range of age where our friends are going to be serving like a more fancy appetizer than Bagel Bites? I don't know.
I hope we're not, honestly.
Well, hopefully we'll be at a point where we'll get to be hanging out with people and see what happens.
Yeah, next like RHAP know-it-alls or whatever, I'll bring some Bagel Bites.
Awesome. There we go. That's friendship right there. So we have Bagel Bites went up there. I think they're in the top 4 for now. That's good. The next item I want to talk about is pizza pops, because let's get the pizza ones out of here now. So you said that you wanted pizza pops and you'd mistakenly ask for the pizza pockets.
Yes.
So does that mean that your relationship with pizza pops is a positive one?
I think it's more positive than pockets.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that it's like, I think it's the greatest food of all time, but I did really like them. I feel like they're good, like similar to Bagel Bites, but like not as good. So that's kind of my relationship with them. But like at the same time, I did actually kind of recently, before COVID happened, I was at an event and they had a gourmet pizza pop stand where it was like bougie, like craft made pizza pops. It was fantastic. And that really kind of made me be like, wow, maybe pizza pops were onto something.
Maybe. I think the concept is phenomenal. And I think that, you know, they have different flavors of these. You know, they've got this picture is the pepperoni bacon. I've had the cheese one. Like, they're good. They do suffer from the same problem as the hot cold. But I think these have more, the ratio of good to bad outcome. There's more good than bad, but it's not by like a astronomical level. So that is the big problem for me. These have definitely been part of the desperate measures. I went to the corner store. I'm like, fuck it. Let me just get a couple pizza pops and like go with that for dinner. Like, that's fine. Ultimately, they are ahead of the pockets for me, and they're ahead of the rolls for me. Because if the rolls and the pops are the same, then at the very least, I'm getting more pops. So that's better.
Yes.
So I think they would be there, maybe below pierogi, potentially.
Yeah, I think that's a great spot for them.
Yeah.
They are like... They're whatever.
Yeah. Like, if they're there, they're there. If I open if I'm hungry, I don't have anything. If I open the freezer, they're there. I'm like, yes, I'm so excited. But otherwise, I'm gonna be like, meh.
I do think if I came home from like going out and I like saw I would be ecstatic to have them in my freezer. But yeah, other than that, kind of like, eh.
Also, X in the chat said, I think you're charcuterie years old, Puya. So, ouch. Ouch. Definitely not done now. Definitely not gone a funeral music right now, but it's okay. It's fine. Where do you want to go next now that I've been taken out?
Oh, man. Okay. Let's talk about frozen paratha dough.
Oh, yeah. When you put this on the list, I was like, Kelly has taste. Kelly's about the culture. Kelly knows what's up. She's been around. She's tried the foods, because I was like, I thought this might be like a Dubai thing, but definitely I was like, really happy that you put this on the list. Tell
got to be everywhere.
Tell them why.
Oh my gosh. So good. So fast. Pop them in a pan. You can eat them with so many different things. You can eat them plain. You could make this into a pizza if you really wanted to. Why not? Let's get crazy.
Let me get this in for the old chat so they can see what this is. So this is what it is, gang. Okay, so you're seeing it on the picture now.
It's like a flatbread.
It's an Indian flatbread. Yes.
Almost like naan, but I don't really know what the difference is. Yeah.
Like naan is still thick relatively.
True.
Whereas the paratha is kind of like, well, it's like a savory crepe in a way.
Yes.
Almost. Because like you can do different flavors to it too. It's fire dough according to Wiki, but they are goated. They're so delicious. So
good.
So light to the bite too. Like it's like eating air but tasty as fuck. Oh, Dippin' Dots. These are not tortillas, my man. Like these are these are not tortillas. They're definitely so. Van says they're like a naan and tortilla put together, like a collaboration.
Kind of, yeah, a little bit.
Potential, but Dippin' Dots, try these. If you find these, try these. They are phenomenal.
I don't know what it is that like what is in them that makes them taste different than like a tortilla too. I guess it's maybe the flour.
But like a tortilla is kind of like still like you use it to make things. What are you? I'm with paratha. It's kind of like almost like a pancake in that I'm not putting anything on it. I'm just
you're just gonna eat it. Yeah. So or like I would eat it with something else. Maybe like if I made like a curry or something, I might just be like, oh, I'll grab some frozen paratha.
Right.
Like, let's hit it.
Yeah. Yeah, can you eat those with hummus? I mean, you can eat it with anything, but I personally wouldn't spread anything onto it, potentially. Yeah. Oh, dip, I do not hate on tortillas. I love tortillas. All I'm saying is that I can't remember the last time I had a tortilla with nothing on it or in it. Maybe like a 3 a.m. I'm out of food and I need to heat something up real quick. Maybe like that.
Would be very bold to just be eating a plain tortilla.
Yeah, Marcus, stop that. You're being a nuisance. Okay, stop. You know what you're doing. I need you to stop doing it. Anyways, back to the tier list with this. Love you too, Marcus. Okay, so this is to me one of the more phenomenal frozen items because again, it's very quick to make as well, and they don't have a fuck up ratio because of the flat nature of it. Stovetop, one side 2 minutes, the other side 2 minutes. Bow, you're ready to go.
Yes, they're so easy, and I feel like they're just fantastic. Like everyone should have these in their freezer.
Yes, and if there's one thing we can put people onto from this list, go get you some of these and let me know what you think of them because they're pretty fucking glorious. Okay, we're down to the final 4. There's one item out of these 4 that I'm not a fan of. Can you guess which one that is?
Ooh, if I had to guess, I would say it's got to be either mac and cheese or the breakfast sausages.
It's mac and cheese. Okay, so mac and cheese is what we're going to talk about. I make box mac and cheese. I'm fine with that. Homemade mac and cheese, phenomenal. And box mac and cheese, I'm fine with that. I like it. I enjoy it. What I don't enjoy is the bullshit that is frozen mac and cheese. Because, and this is not like the waffles. The waffles, I like the steps. I don't necessarily enjoy making the mac and cheese myself, but I like to be the eyes on it. I like to decide how much cheese needs to go in there. I like to be the decider. And with these, I'm a little bit like not into it, especially because of how easy it is to make box mac and cheese. So these are probably the biggest of the binums because the way to make them yourself is already so easy that you don't need this.
That's a great point. Yeah, I would say my only counter argument is I know there's like one Trader Joe's one that is very good. I think it has like chilies in it. Okay. But otherwise, yeah, I'm not a frozen mac girl. I feel like the noodles always end up really, really soft. And like I like an al dente. So when don't give me a floppy noodle. Like I don't want that.
No. Also, Mandy in the chat says hi, Colin. So
yeah,
Colin,
sorry,
shout out.
He's feeding our dog.
That's fair. Yeah, our both of our cats are being a nuisance, which I'm assuming means they're hungry, but they can wait. It's fine. They'll be okay. No, but if you hear Pearl, that's when I've like not fed them. But
oh no. Yeah, I locked mine away. I locked the cat away because he is the worst whenever I'm on video calls.
Yeah, Marcus says Colin is a king. There you go. So someone just said, "Wait, are corn dogs in this list?" They are not.
Oh yeah,
we forgot to put
we
them
totally
in
forgot. I feel like we can still talk about them.
We can. Let's finish the 3 on the list, and then if there's anything that we haven't, we can because we did make good time, so we can definitely wrap up with a couple out of the audience. So the next one is up to you. We're down to 3.
Okay. Ooh, okay. Let's talk mozzarella sticks.
Let's. So, what about mozzarella sticks?
I feel like mozzarella sticks are amazing. I mean, it's basically just cheese covered in bread. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
No.
I think frozen mozzarella sticks, pretty good. Honestly, like I would hit a frozen mozzarella stick probably over most of the things on this list.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. I think these are the air fryer's best friend as well. These would be so good. And to me, they're reverse frozen. It's just a matter of how reverse frozen are they. I think, though, the thing against them is these fall into they're a little bit more snacky than, like, meal replacement-y. And then also, I feel like a box of these isn't the same as, like, a box of Bagel Bites or a box of Tater Tots. I feel like there's usually less of these in a package. So it's either, am I going to open a package and then be like, fuck, I ate all these, but I will feel too guilty in eating something else? Or am I buying multiple and I have to open multiple? So that's the big beef for me.
Yeah, I think for like the value discussion, they're probably more at the bottom of the top tier.
Yeah, but they're still top tier, and no one can take that away from them.
Yeah, and they're one of the only foods where when they like explode in the oven, you're like, oh, good, because then that cheese like gets all crispy onto the thing, and you're like, ooh, that's like the best part. Yeah,
no, I'm a big fan of the cheese pull. I'm a big fan of the cheese like that. The big problem with the pizza one is that it's the fucking lava tomato sauce that's like just a hot mess. If it was just cheese, I'm not complaining. Like I'm fine with that. So, and Coco says you do not need utensils to eat this. I agree.
That's a great point.
Let me see. Let me tell you what I need utensils to eat with on here, because I feel like a lot of these chicken strips, I don't necessarily need it. Pizza, I don't need it. Tater tots, I don't need it, but I always use it. Bagel bites, no. Mozzarella, no. Paratha, no. Salmon, yes. There's a lot of these where you don't need utensils, shockingly.
Yeah.
Macaroni and cheese, no. I'm just kidding. That would be nasty. Yeah.
Oh my God, imagine just shoveling it in.
That's like a mukbang no one needs to watch.
The sounds would be horrendous.
Yeah. No. So now we're down to the final two. And I believe, personally, there's a debate for both of these being real good.
Yes, okay. I agree as well.
So the last thing I added on the list, I'll go with that, is the breakfast sausage. So these are very inexpensive. They're like three for a dollar at the moment at our store. I think they have a surplus of them or something. But we bought these, and you kind of have to make them the same way you do with the dumplings, where stovetop, and then you add a little bit of water. You know, cover that thing, then it's good to go. These were great. We got the turkey ones, and then we got the beef ones or the pork ones. The turkey ones were a little bit BS-y because it was like, oh, I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to tell me these are healthy. They didn't end up tasting great. The other ones taste phenomenal, but also, you know, they're bad for you, but that's fine. This tier list was not built on what's the best caloric intake here. These are great. I think these are so great that they're at the very least in the wow section. And then if we wanted to really debate, I might try and put in reverse frozen, but I still think regular breakfast sausage or regular sausage would be way better.
Yeah, I mean, I love breakfast food, hence the waffle thing. I think breakfast sausages are fantastic. They're very unique too. Like, you don't get a lot of things that taste like a breakfast sausage.
No.
So I would be totally fine with putting them at the top of the wow or even in the reverse frozen, because they are fantastic. And you can like eat them so many ways. Like, you can cut them up and put them into like a hash or something like that. Like, you can get creative with them. Yeah.
No, I'm a big breakfast food guy, and whenever I have an opportunity to have a breakfast sandwich, if I'm picking, like, if I want to have meat involved, I will opt for sausage over anything. Sausage patty might be even better just because it's an easier way to make the sandwich, but I don't care. These are very easy for me. So I think bottom of the top is where I would put them as well.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. You can dip them in syrup too. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yes. Yes, very so good. Okay, so we're at the final
Nugs.
destination. The Chicky Nuggies.
Chicky Nuggies.
This is when I said I had a top one and I was picking, it was between the strips and this. And I think nuggets just go like right on top as well. I feel like I've not had a chicken nugget that I've hated. You know, I like the dinosaur shaped ones. I like the star shaped ones. I like the regular shaped ones. I like the big old bag of Costco bulk ones that just last forever and ever and ever. If you've never filled a baking tray with like 20 nuggets and then just had yourself a night after a night out, you've not done your night out ending properly. So good.
Chicken nuggets and chicken strips, probably like top of all my favorite foods, even though I do not eat chicken anymore. But like, chicken nuggets are amazing. I still personally think that strips are better.
Same.
But I love a good chicken nugget. I still buy vegan chicken nuggets like literally all the time because like, why not?
Yeah, no, I can't get enough of these. And I think the only reason I never really bought chicken nuggets while at a fast food place was because it felt like this is not going to be enough. And I don't want to like sit there and order like hella nuggets and be like sitting there with like just way too much nuggets to eat in public. So it's like, let me just get the burger. Like that's the move to go with. But yeah, no, I feel like, you know, nuggets are kind of like sausage in that you don't want to think about how they're made.
Oh no, definitely not.
So the minute you start thinking about it, you're not gonna like it. So
like, why are they that shape? They shouldn't be dinosaur shaped.
Right.
But...
what part of the chicken is this meat? Like, don't just eat it.
No.
Just eat the fucking nuggets and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Everything's great. We love chicken nuggets.
Exactly.
Just eat them.
So these, I would have these before the sausage, before the burrata. I think these would go right below tater tots just to like solidify the top three being tots, pizza, and nugget strips, and then chicken nuggets right below.
I love that so much.
Okay, I love it too. So this is the list we have. I think who just brought this up? Let me see. Okay, well I've missed it now, but someone did mention this is this is the highest we've had in volume, a number of foods in the top tier before. This has never happened. Usually it's like 3 items. Oh, Mandy said it. Yeah, these are like 3-4 items. This shows how many of these are pretty much giving you what you want for the money you're putting out there and for the time you're spending on them. So,
yeah, you can't be mad at it if it's in the frozen aisle. Like,
no.
You know, you should know what you're getting into. But I think when it's done well, it's done extremely well.
Yeah. So, chat, this is a unique time where we can... So this is the list. You're already seeing the list now. This is finalized. But if there's anything you didn't see on here that you want us to speak on, just shoot it through now in the chat and we'll quick fire talk about them. Because I think corn dogs was brought up. Where would you see corn dogs going here?
Oh my god, I do love corn dogs, like pogos and whatever else. That's really the only one I can think of. I think I would have to put it in the Owen Wilson category because like they're very good. They're very small. It's my only issue.
Yeah. This needs a volume upon volume for me, in quantity. I mean, but I also do enjoy them. I definitely didn't think I would, and then when I tried one, I was like, oh, why have I not been having this my whole life? So I like them. I like them. They would be in the wow for me as well. Let's see. So someone said White Castle frozen sliders. I've never had them. Have you had them?
I have not.
Okay.
I've never actually been to White Castle.
Same.
So, oh my gosh, should we make like a Harold and Kumar type?
Go to White Castle?
Adventure?
I mean, I'm always down for an adventure. I will say that in the we did the fast food tier list with Phil, and we trashed them.
Really?
We trashed them big time because based on the stuff I've read online, the things I've seen, the best thing to come out of White Castle is the fact that Harold and Kumar slapped that restaurant on their title and made it a cult classic.
That's very funny. Yeah, I've never been, so.
Yeah, the one that I've heard is not good that I really want to give a try anyway is Jack in the Box because I've heard that they have everything on the menu. Like, you can get fucking dumplings there, but then you also get burgers and shit. And I'm like, that's weird. You're doing too much, but you have my attention. I'm curious to try you out.
My somewhat hot fast food take is that I think Whataburger is like top tier.
I can't wait to try it. I've watched videos. I'm very intrigued. Everything looked good. The portions looked beautiful. So very excited for that.
Spicy ketchup. They have spicy ketchup.
Could there be more things that we would like about it? I don't know. I did hear that McDonald's is bringing. No, who brought the spicy nugget this past couple months? Was it McDonald's?
I think it's McDonald's. They're doing it.
Yeah, and now they have this like weird Travis Scott meal that I'm seeing the ads for everyone. I'm like, who cares? It's just what he orders. Like that's not a meal. So
I have not seen this. It has not made its way up across the border, I guess.
It's like a quarter pounder with like cheese, pickle, and like something else, and then it comes with a Sprite. And I'm like, dude, it's his custom order. So like you're just paying this guy. I don't know if it's gonna work for marketing. It might, but like, is Travis Scott even that good? And I would say no.
I don't think I've ever ordered a Sprite in my entire life.
Yeah. I mean, I am a stern Coke or Coke Zero guy or Pepsi guy. No ice. Never ice. I'm a never ice person from a fountain.
That's a great call.
Yeah.
I'm a Diet Coke over Coke Zero, but I don't know if that's just because I was in a sorority. Like, that might be why.
Was that a requirement?
Yeah, everyone in sororities loves Diet Coke.
Dippin' Dot says you lost me at the Nuggets rating. I know, Dip. We lost you, and I feel like when we talked about tortillas, you were a little bit like, "What the fuck is going on?" But it's cool. We've been on the same page on other ones though. Let's see. Pot pies are missing from this list. Are you a pot pie person?
I think pot pies are pretty underrated, actually, as a frozen food. I'd probably put it like somewhere either at the bottom of maybe the Owen Wilson category for me. They're quite good, but like I wouldn't go out of my way to get it.
Yeah, I feel like the best thing about them is the joke of like chicken pot pie. Those are my 3 favorite things. I like saying that, even though I don't like pies. I'm not mad at this. It's a warm pie with chicken in it. That's cool. But it's a little bit chicken stuffed cutlet to me. It's a little bit a little bit like that. So that for that reason, I'm not like really all in on it all that much, but I can see the appeal.
I feel like they also always have those, those frozen vegetables where it's like the peas.
Oh my God.
The like perfectly cubed carrots. Yikes. And those are so bizarre to me.
Yeah, it's like, why are you perfect? Like, shouldn't you have be a little rough around the edges? Like, make it seem like someone chopped this.
Yes. Yeah. It's like, clearly this came from a giant machine, and I don't want it.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I think there would be. It'll end up being in the section for me.
Yeah. Fair enough. I could go that low on it too.
Yeah. I can't think of any other items that we snubbed from this list that need to be brought up. Like I said, fruits and vegetables didn't come in because different ones have different opinions. Different fruits work for smoothies. Different fruits work for this and that. Vegetables, some of them are disgusting. Some of them are phenomenal. So you can really go either way with that. Like Liana hates the peas and carrots bag.
Yeah.
She's not about that life. I personally can see a benefit in the peas and carrots if you have a rice cooker that has a built-in steamer and you just leave them on top, make the rice, and then toss them in there. That works out fine. But I also think that the cubed carrot's a little creepy. So we're on the same page on that. Yeah.
Same food takes today.
Look at Dippin' Dots is looking up Instacart to see if he can get paratas there. Dippin' Dots is the real one.
I hope we spike parata sales. People are just going crazy buying them.
Dippin' Dots, thank you. And who was so Marcus, if you're still here, I saw you talk shit about our rating of the burrito. Why are we wrong? Like, tell me that the bread isn't like a fucking wet paper towel and like the innards aren't like cold goop or molten hot lava goop that has 0 flavor. Tell me why I'm wrong.
The tortilla literally gets stuck to the plate when you microwave it too. Yeah. And then you the whole thing just rips open. It's like, what am I doing? What are we doing?
Like, I want a burrito is supposed to be strong enough to carry all that flavor and food, but also strong enough to, when you open it, you are able to eat it fine and not have a problem.
Freezer burritos are disrespect to burritos.
Yes. It's like Wish opened up and said, hey, we're going to compete with Amazon, but we're going to serve the inferior products. It's like, well, You don't do that. If you were gonna compete, I'm fine, but like give me good products. Like otherwise, don't bother. It's just this jumbled mess. Agreed. You gotta have the frozen breakfast burritos. You gotta sauce it up. If you have to sauce it up, you're already behind, fam. Like we literally talked about. Kelly used to douse her chicken cutlet in barbecue sauce to get away from it. Like that. This is the rule. So no. Mandy though, Kelly says we forgot about frozen garlic bread.
I can definitely fuck with frozen garlic breadsticks.
Those are phenomenal.
For sure.
Those might end up being top tier for me if we have.
Yeah, those are so good.
Yeah, and like you're making a steak, you're making a little bit of mashed potato. You just throw that in there and add it into the mix. Boom.
No matter how full I am, I can always eat another breadstick.
Every time.
Doesn't even matter.
Every time. That's a very easy decision. It's not Benham territory at the least. My disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined. Oh,
sorry,
really?
Marcus.
Okay, here, Marcus, here. I'll do this, okay? So you're looking at the tier list, right? Here. It is not below mac and cheese. Deal with that. That's how bad I think it is. You need to not like these, man. There are better burritos out there. Even the burrito I had at Taco Bell, which I thought wasn't great, even that would be better, honestly.
Yes.
Like, come on. Like, I appreciate you so much. You deserve better than a disappointing frozen burrito.
That's what Marcus needs to say to himself every morning now. He needs to be like, I deserve better than a frozen burrito. Marcus
says, I'm going to get some frozen mac and cheese and put it on my frozen burritos.
No.
Marcus just wants to see the world burn by the sounds of it right now.
Huh? Who would have thought?
That's too much.
Like, come on. You gotta not do that. Only pulling up not on Instacart, checking Walmart. Dippin' Dots, the amount of appreciation I have for you should not be overlooked that you're still looking at this and going for it. So much appreciation. Frozen taquitos. I've never had a frozen taquito. Have you?
Okay, so I had said that to Colin. I have had a frozen taquito and it was really bad, but it was at my company. I get to go to like a lot of health food expos. And it was at one of these health food expos. They give it all these samples.
Oh, it's
and
like
so
fancy, like healthy taquito.
Yeah, and it was like a gluten-free, like vegan frozen taquito. It was one of the worst things I had eaten at that whole thing. And I was like, I'm never going here again for frozen taquito. But maybe it was just because it was like gluten-free or something.
Well, what's it called? DT says Hungry Man or Marie Callender's, and that is this one over here in the not well thought out. That's basically the ready-to-eat meal that we put as one category in there. Also, Kim Matina's in the chat. Hello, Kim. How are you?
Oh, Kim Matina.
Yeah, Kim came through with the what about Stauffer's French bread pizza? Again, I've not had it.
I've not had that either.
That sounds great.
Yeah, it sounds like something I would like.
Yeah. Frozen lasagna.
Ooh. Sorry, that was a... Yeah, I'm not a frozen lasagna fan.
Are you a lasagna fan?
I do like lasagna.
Okay.
But it's not that hard to make.
I love lasagna. I like one of the foods in this house that we have disagreements on is I like lasagna and Liana doesn't like lasagnas at all. And I was like, I'll change your mind. I made one, she liked it, but then she's like, I don't need this. It's too much. And it's very easy to make. Because I had to make it myself. And I think that you don't need the frozen. The frozen is disappointing. Like before I decided to just make my own, I would have these cravings every now and then of like, I want lasagnas. I'd order it from a place and even those weren't good. I was like, this was the worst decision I could have made.
I don't like it because sometimes it's really watery and I'm like, this is not what lasagna should be like.
Coco says that there's something very sad about the tray and it makes me feel like I'm on a hospital with regards to the frozen dinners. And I think that makes sense. It's like either hospital or airplane, and none of them are appealing. I've had exactly 1 or 2 good meals on an airplane, and that was the Iranian flights because they give you Iranian food, which is fascinating because it's like actual meal. Whereas like every other flight since I've moved to Canada, when I've gone back and forth, is either like this, would you like the chicken Alfredo? And it's like, yee. Okay, or it's here's your crackers and nuts with like a little side of butter. And it's like, well, that's not a meal. You're lying to me when you say this is a meal. So that's maddening. But
I've had exactly one good airplane meal, and it was like back when Porter, which is an airline here in Toronto, they used to give out like little boxes of like sandwiches. It was very
I
cute,
like that.
and
Yeah.
they don't do it anymore.
Now, when I flew over, we got exactly nothing. Nothing. Not even like, would you like some soda? Nothing. So
Oh,
I was
no.
like, what is this? This is annoying. And then it didn't help that the airport had nothing either. So it was just a nothing on top of nothing. So
No, I always just pick Delta to fly because I like that they have Biscoff cookies.
if the cookies are the reason you're getting on the flight, then they should never get rid of those cookies. They're making exactly one person's money because of the Biscoffs. Okay, I think we're done here. I think we got a fun list here. I think there's a lot of winners here, not many losers, only, the bottom 4. If you had told me wings were going to be there, I wouldn't have expected it, but they're there because they really are not that great. Kim, did you rate frozen pierogies? You mean if it's pierogies, we did. And based on the you didn't put the sad face, Marcus did. It's in the it's just frozen food. It's in the mediocre range. It's in the middle. Yes, it's in the middle, Kim. Okay. Kelly, thank you so much for coming through.
Oh, thanks so much for having me. It was so
course.
much fun. I'm starving now, so
Same. I'm gonna
this
go
has been
eat.
a great appetizer.
Yeah, ahead of Big Brother. Gotta get my meal in. And then we got Big
Yes.
Brother, and then we got Sequester tonight featuring Akiva is gonna be
Oh
playing.
my God, and
He's gonna be
Allie.
on there. A bunch of other people that I know have played are on there, so that'll be a good time as well. So we got a beautiful option of things to do tonight. But thank you for giving your hour and a half to us here today,
Yeah.
Kelly, and you, the chat, for indulging us in all the frozen food stuff. I hope you have a good day. Stay hydrated. Have a good time. I will be back on Friday for the pad, aka Puya After Dark, aka we go live at midnight or later. So definitely check out for that. It's been a fun couple nights. We did that this past weekend. I look forward to it this time. And until then, take care. Have a good time. And remember, if you like frozen burritos, your name is Marcus and nobody else. Take care. Adios.